He's been named by People magazine as the sexiest man in America. He will be dying on St. Elsewhere. And yes, I know his last episode. What do you want from me? I didn't write it. NBC, February 12th is coming Wednesday. But then he will go on to make a movie with Robert Duvall called Let's Get Harry. So let's welcome right now Mr. Mark Harmon.
You ever buy that house in Santa Barbara?
That's where I saw you. We were both looking at a house in Santa Barbara.
Right. You could afford it. I couldn't.
No, I said the same. Oh, we didn't buy it either.
No. It was a nice house, though, wasn't it?
It was a great house. We should have gotten together and split it.
And I told you how great I thought you were in the lobby of that big place.
Well, they call that courtyard.
Looked like a lobby to me.
It was big. Yeah. No, who could afford those kind of houses? Well, you can now.
Nah. Coors can. Yeah.
You're doing very well.
Well, I'm okay, Joan. I'm just getting started.
Yeah, great. The sexiest man in America. How do you follow that?
I think they're pretty hard up for sexy men.
Yo, come on. You never had trouble getting dates going out or anything?
Sure I did. I'm having trouble right now as we speak.
I don't get it.
Well, I don't get it either. But...
I don't believe that women don't stop you on the street and go like, hi, I saw you in People magazine and here is my card.
Well, that has happened. That has happened. The other day I was in my car and I got out of my car and I was just locking up and all of a sudden this red Ferrari pulled up next to me. I couldn't see into the car and the lady said, excuse me, can I borrow a pen? I just heard a voice and so I took a pen out of my pocket, handed it to her, and I locked my car and I set the alarm and I turned around and she handed me back the pen with her phone number and said, call me, and took off.
Oh, did you?
I just saw her legs. It's hard to just get attracted to legs. She drives a nice car, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do with those kind of women? You just sell the numbers?
No, I give them to a friend of mine, actually. I really do. I send them to him.
But now, somebody told me you actually went on the dating game. That must have been a long time ago.
I did. When I was in college, I went on the dating game, and I got to choose. 3 girls were on the other side. And they said before the game, they said, we can't tell you who's going to go to Europe, but someone's going to Europe on this show. And I figured, hey, I'm going to Europe. And what happened is that they sent the other couple to Europe, and I won a dinner on the Queen Mary and a trip to the Troubadour to see David Steinberg.
Well, that's not bad. It's not Europe, but it's not, you know.
No, it was the first time I met David, though.
Yeah. Did you do the act in French to make it feel a little bit better?
No.
Did you like the girl on the dating game?
I didn't go. I know. Yeah, you can. Everything's great until you meet each other, and then if one of you cancel, the other gets to take who they want to take. So I went to like Mongolia or someplace. I disappeared.
You didn't want her, or she didn't want you?
It was kind of mutual. Yeah. She was a bird trainer.
You have a lot to talk about.
No, really, no.
So what do you look for in a woman? I read that you had a big affair with Heather Locklear. well, and you said having her was like having a cup of coffee. Now, what does that mean?
No,
Hot and black? I don't know what it means.
No, what I said is they asked, they said, got right down to the last question. They said, New York wants to know about Christina Raines and Heather Locklear. And I said, gosh, Locklear, right. And I said, no, I find it funny that you put the two of them in the same category. One I spent 4 years of my life with and spent a lot of time with, and she taught me how to slow down and smell the flowers, and she's a very special lady. And the other one I had a cup of coffee with. And that's what I said. And then it ends up in the anyway, you know.
Did she call you and say thank you? Because that means like she's, you know.
No, she wouldn't call me and say thank you, no.
If someone said you're like a hot cup of coffee, I would take that as a compliment.
Next time I'll say that...
Anything. Anything. She's just like a cup of coffee, like a cup of soup. I just take it, you know, at my age, you're just grateful for anything. You know?
Next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
So you see nobody now?
Seeing nobody now. I've been seeing nobody for quite a while now.
So what do you do? I mean, What do you do?
What do I do?
What do you do for a good time?
Well, I'm okay by myself. You know, I got like 4 dogs and a cat. That's like serious responsibility.
Yeah.
And I'm building a house.
Okay.
A house.
By yourself?
Well, I have some help, but yeah, I used to be. but I have really. The last year I built my own house, and I'm like working on a career. You know.
Now, did you ever
That's a
think?
cop-out too, kind of.
Sure, it's a cop.
Yeah.
But also, if you don't look for somebody, love comes into your home.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not looking.
Yeah. Well, then
So-
maybe she'll be there tonight, putting nails into your door. You know. Now you say, did you always want to be an actor? You're working on your career, because you were at UCLA and you played football.
Right. No. I wanted to be a jock. Is what I wanted to be. Yeah. Before that, when I was a kid, a real little kid, everybody wanted to be a fireman. I wanted to be a fire truck. And so I was a little bit different.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I could see so. The kids ride on you?
Yeah. Yes. Maybe that's the problem. No. And then I was busy being a jock, and then I did theater in school, and then I got a chance to be an actor about 2 or 3 years after graduation from Jack Webb.
And you liked it, and you just said, what the hell? Or did you suddenly realize, I really want this? It's been here.
Well, I knew I wanted to do it since I was real young, but I had a real hard time admitting it. I couldn't even say the word. I couldn't even say it. It just stuck in my mouth.
What about you? I hear you come from a gorgeous family, that you have 2 sisters that are just killers. Beautiful, beautiful
Not
sisters.
to me. I mean, they were killers to me. When I was really little, they used to get me down to my underwear, and they'd tie me up in my bed and put lipstick on, and they'd kiss me. They did. And if I ask them about it now, they said she did it, and the other one says she did it, but they both did it. Yeah.
And are both of them both married, or?
No, Chris is divorced, and Kelly is now married, living in New York.
Are you close? Were you a close family?
Yeah, very close. Very close. My dad insists on that. My dad's a little to the right of John Wayne.
Now, if you were 3 good-looking kids, were there different standards?
Yeah.
What the girls could do and what you could do?
Very different.
Yeah, for example, yeah.
Well, I got more beatings than most of them. Yeah.
Oh. Were you a bad kid?
Well, I wasn't a bad kid, but I was into a lot of mischief. And I mean, when I was 6 years old and I knocked out Freddie Cockrell's front tooth and he ran home to his mother, and by the time he ran home, I heard the phone ring and I heard my dad yell, "Mark," which meant I was in trouble. It was usually hot dog or burrhead or something like that. and the key with my dad was to stay away from him because he's Irish. And he came down the stairs and I came in the back door of his master bedroom, and they had a master bed on one wall with a his and hers bath. And if you ran real fast in a circle, you could keep running. And so I ran. And what I was doing is working my dad up, and I didn't know that. And he kept saying, "Slow down, I'm going to catch you, I want to talk to you." I said, "Yeah, I'll bet you want to talk to me." And anyway, I got tired, I dove under the bed because I could fit. And my dad would go and reach, and I'd roll. And then he'd go to the other side, and I'd roll back. And I remember being very little and sitting under that bed just really saying, "This is like the swellest idea." And it was very dark. And all of a sudden, like light. And my father, he's a very big man, he had picked the bed up with one hand, and he had grabbed me with the other. And as he was dragging me out, I remember thinking, this is the dumbest idea. And when he spanked you, he'd ask you questions. He'd say, "You ever going to do this again?" But the thing is, he'd hit you so hard with the first one, you had no breath. You couldn't. He'd hit you 20 times before you could finally say, "Yeah, never." You know. Yeah.
Is
I
he
learned a
proud
lot.
of you now?
My dad, he's proud of me now. Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that
I'm
good?
proud of him now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to be sitting where you're sitting. What a pleasure to meet you. They all said you were adorable backstage, and you are.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Please come back again. We'll be right back after this commercial message, so please stay tuned. Everybody backstage.
Harmon, the sexiest man alive.
I think they're pretty hard up for sexy men. I don't take it too seriously. I mean, and it's real nice, you know, but it's not my reality. I mean, I think I'm embarrassed by it more than anything, and yet I take it good-naturedly. I mean, I take it with a smile. And
But I'm curious, what does Mark Harmon see when he looks in the mirror?
I see, you know, what I've seen since I was a little kid, and it's changed over the years because various football injuries and things have replaced things like real teeth with fake ones, and various.
Fake teeth?
These are all fake, yeah.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. And that's the reality of it. I mean, that to me is what I shave in the morning. You know, I don't spend a lot of time in front of a mirror. It's not real important to me.
His family is important to Mark. He grew up in Los Angeles with 2 sisters, Chris, first wife of singer Ricky Nelson, and Kelly, a former Mrs. John DeLorean. father, Tom Harmon, the football legend, was very strict with young Mark.
When we played catch on the front lawn, I was taught to have control. I mean, to work on concentration and to work on throwing the ball in a specific spot every time. And when I threw one wildly, my father went in the house. And some days, our catch on the front lawn, which didn't happen all that often, was one throw.
But Mark worked hard to please his dad, and it paid off. Mark became the second football hero in the family, and his first big victory at UCLA was a turning point in his strained relationship with his father.
As I broke through the cubicle in the Coliseum where we dressed and headed for the showers, there was my father standing on the far wall of the Coliseum. He had been there for 2.5 hours. He had not come into the space where the reporters were. And I stopped and I looked at him, and he stopped, he looked at me, and he stood up straight, and he said, hey, great game. And, I mean, I burst into tears, and he burst into tears, and I hugged him, and he hugged me. And from that moment, I knew my father.
After graduating with honors, Mark studied acting while moonlighting as a carpenter.
Yeah, it used to be a career. I mean, it used to be how I made the rent.
Soon, small TV and movie parts led to his big break on St. Elsewhere and his near $1 million contract as the Coors beer man.
You see, Coors was kind of the beer at my folks' place.
At 34, he's one of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors.
People have said, you know, what's your ideal woman? And my response to that is, well, someone who doesn't own a blow dryer. And so consequently, people send letters and say, I don't own a blow dryer. You know, I mean, I'm interested in what the heart says, you know, and what's there without the makeup. I mean, that's important to me.
For 4 years, Mark's heart said actress Christina Raines was important. And after a painful breakup, he dated Dynasty's Heather Locklear.
Have you ever dated one of your female fans?
Nope. Not that I know of. Maybe. I don't know.
Would you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't.
Have any of your female fans gotten overzealous?
I was in your own backyard at 3 o'clock in the morning.
What happened?
My alarm went off. I went outside with a loaded gun. Listened to footprints come down the side of the house. Whipped around the corner with a gun pointed at this girl's forehead. I'm standing there naked in the moonlight.
Naked?
Well, I sleep naked. Her reaction was, you really do live here.
And what happened?
I thought that was kind of strange. I shot her 3 times and threw her back over the wall.
No, come on. Are you making this up?
No, it really happened. What happened is she left, you know, but that's beyond the line as far as I'm concerned. Margaret.
Mark's latest role is a little beyond the line. He plays a mass murderer in the TV miniseries Deliberate Stranger, scheduled to air in May. Then, fans can catch him in Let's Get Hairy with Robert Duvall. While his career is taking off, Mark says his feet are still planted firmly on the ground.
You know, I don't confuse when the camera's rolling and when it's not. I never have. And I don't expect that to change. I mean, I'm doing what I'm doing because it gives me a chance to wake up in the morning and try something new every day, and a chance to get better every day. And I don't see a cap on that. I just see that as endless, and that's the way I want to improve.